Today we find ourselves in sunny San Diego with a good friend of mine, Jill, who's presently living about, I'd say about 200 feet from the beach. I find I get a lot of questions of people that ask how you travel all the time, how you set up your lifestyle to be like a business on the road, what you do to get there. And I also find that people don't really actually care what the answer is. They're more interested in finding out why they can't do it or what the problems were that are stopping them from doing it. But I found an example here of someone who's living anywhere she wants, doing exactly what she wants, and has made a successful business out of it. So today we're going to sit with Jill, and she's going to explain to us a little bit about herself. Hi, Jill. Welcome.
Hi. Thanks.
How you doing?
Great.
Good to see you. Nice place you got here.
Right? It's beautiful.
So if you wouldn't mind starting off, if you could just tell us who you are, what you do, and what your favorite color is.
Okay. Well, my favorite color is blue, just to get that out of the way. But do I talk to you or do I talk to the camera?
Both. We're both happy to see you.
Okay. So my name is Jill Enticknap, and I'm a Canadian citizen, but right now I'm a resident of Mexico. I live in 𝗔𝗯cie specifically for the last 3 years. And prior to that, I was living in the Dominican Republic for 3 years, and prior to that, I was in New Zealand for a year, and prior to that, through Asia and Central America and all over the place. So as of right now, I have 2 businesses, one being a coaching business or a spiritual guide where I help people break down the barriers of the goals and the lifestyle that they're trying to create. And the other business is an online marketing company. So I represent different companies online, I develop their brand voice, and I consult and advise them as to different marketing strategies. So as a result, as long as I have the internet and a way to connect to the internet, I can work and live anywhere.
So why is it so important to you to have this type of lifestyle and this type of business?
Well, growing up in Alberta, I'm sure anyone watching from Alberta knows that there's about 10 months of winter, and I've seen snow 12 months a year. And so I wanted to create a different type of lifestyle that was based around sunshine and the ocean. I'll never forget the first time that I felt ocean water in the wild that was the same temperature as a bath. And I was hooked. From like the moment I dipped my pinky toe, I was hooked. And I had to be close to that. It made me alive. It turned me into a different person. Like I could literally take off that shield from the cold and embrace more of who I was and who I am. And as a result, since then, I've just kept on evolving through different experiences, different cultures. The more I learn about everything else, the more I learn about me. So that's why it's so important to be able to be mobile and keep on moving and keep on expanding my experience.
And what value do people get out of working with you?
What a question. Especially because I believe what I do is invaluable. Like you actually can't put a price on what I do with people, what I do for people, whether it's helping a business develop, whether it is really helping someone to understand the inner workings of themselves. So,
can you give us an example of someone or some business that you were like, here's our issue, and they walked away feeling it was resolved?
Sure.
They don't need specific names or anything. It's like
no, I have confidentiality within my practice. Wow, there's a lot of different examples. I have some clients come to me who are having marital issues, for example. And so the principle that I most work with is the fact that everything that happens outside of us is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. And so in order to heal a marriage, for example, one needs to actually go inside and examine the beliefs that they have about marriage or about relationships and heal from within themselves and their own beliefs and their own ideals. So I had a client who came to me and her marriage was a mess. She was ready to walk away. She was so afraid because her husband was the primary income generator and she was a stay-at-home mom. Extremely gifted woman. Being a stay-at-home mom was a choice, not necessarily something she had to do. So after working together, I basically told her, like, you have two choices. You can stay or you can go. But what do you really want? And when you have that introspective question and you have someone kind of reflecting back to you the simplicity of the situation, you actually get to step back and ask yourself and really internally check in with, what is the answer to that question? And also, I believe in my clients. They share their vision, and that is what I hold inside of myself as I support them forward. I don't get caught up in the everyday stuff that pulls them in one direction or pulls them in another direction. I'm focused on the vision that we create when we start working together. So if that's to leave your marriage, well then that's the direction that I always have in my mind. If it's to strengthen your marriage, well then that's the direction that I always have in my mind. If it's to start a business because you have this great idea but you don't know how necessarily to bring it to life, well, we set up a plan, we set up a direction, we set up a focus, and then I hold my clients accountable to action steps every week, which helps to move them towards that direction.
Sounds like you're passionate about it.
Absolutely.
Would you say that you're successful at this stage in your life?
Absolutely.
And what did it take to get from nothing to where you are right now? Was it easy?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Easy, no. Rewarding, 100%. I basically had to break myself down to the core and rebuild myself back up because I had so many conditions as to, you can't do this because you're not trained, or you can't do that because you're not qualified, or you're a woman, or you're too young, or you're Canadian, or whatever the case may be.
Everything.
Exactly. And I literally I have no certifications. I mean, I have done a lot and I've experienced a lot, but I don't have a degree in anything that I do. I do it through experience. I do it through passion. You can feel it, right? So, and I've developed my programs, my course, my strategies through application, through learning, through research, through my own process. And as a result, I have reprogrammed everything within myself to emerge as this person. And I continue to evolve.
Sounds like you've gone all in.
Absolutely.
So if you could offer some advice or words of wisdom for someone who's, say, maybe starting their own journey or online business and they're stuck, or they hit a wall, or they think it's impossible, I think they're a female and no one cares, or they're worried that they don't have a degree from Dr. So-and-so, what would you say to them at this stage of their game?
Keep moving forward and trust in the process. The struggle is worth it. Like, that's the biggest thing. When I realized that, like, the journey is the struggle and the struggle is the journey, and it's all the exact same thing. And when I realized how much I transformed through my pain or struggle, or, those blockages that I had to overcome, how much I grew because of it, that's enlightening. Like, that gives you the strength to continue to move forward, that no matter where you are, no matter what you're stuck on, you'll get through it and you'll be better for it. And so if you can just keep moving forward and trust in the process, you will come out on the other side stronger, more focused, a different person, transformed.
Sounds pretty powerful. What's next for you, and where are you going from here?
Oh boy, what is next for me? Honestly, I wake up every morning asking for guidance and being reborn. So I most recently submitted my first manuscript to be published. So I am a published author. Thank you. That book should be out at the beginning of December. So any of you that know me know what you're getting for Christmas. And so that's one thing. My marketing business just keeps on evolving and growing. And the more it evolves and grows, the more passionate I become, and the more aligned I am with the clients that I'm attracting. So suddenly it's not just about putting a business online or posting for them or whatever. It's actually about business development and guidance, and really clarifying the message that a business has and the presence that it wants to be on this earth. So that's becoming more and more evident. when it comes to my coaching, I'm creating retreats in different centers. So I'm getting connected with different centers throughout the world and creating retreats, transformational retreats, corporate retreats that are spiritually based. So that's another thing that I'm doing and developing. So yeah, those three things, it's all, yeah, very exciting and expansive. And I just really trust in the journey, and I trust every opportunity that comes my way is exactly the opportunity that I need in order to move forward. And I just trust that, even if I don't understand it. So that's another tip that I definitely give to people, is that it's okay to not know. It's okay. It's okay. Because if you know what you're working towards, the next step will appear. But you just have to be willing to take the first step, then the second step, and continue following the path.
Wow, this is some pretty good words of wisdom. Thanks a lot for coming on the show today. If someone wants to find you, where can they find you? Other than physically, because I'm sure you're probably nowhere specific at any particular time.
Come here.
We were even supposed to meet in San Diego. We were supposed to meet in Mexico, and it turns out we're on the beach in San Diego. So,
well, I'm super active on Facebook. Of course, it's part of my business. So if you search me on Facebook as 𝗔𝗯cie I'm the only one, so I'm easy to find there.
Enticknap.
Yes. Another great place to find me is my website, and just keep an eye open, because I'll be popping up all over the place.
Well done.
Thanks for having me.